Aloha everybody, I'm Ryan K. Hugh and I'm a business attorney here in Honolulu, Hawaii, specifically the lovely Kaka'ako. I'm posting today Monday Merger or Merger Monday, as a follow-up to the mergers and acquisition post I did recently, which was about the general information about what those terms mean. Of course, M&A, mergers and acquisitions, is in the headlines because of Alaska and Hawaiian Airlines' announced deal. So today we're going to talk about pros and cons of mergers. So swipe on through. So what are some of the pros of merging? Well, a lot of times you can use them to avoid closure, right? If you're a struggling company and you find somebody to merge with, there is a way to spread out that debt and carrying on your business. In another way, it does reduce competition. Now, sometimes that is a good thing, sometimes a bad thing, but here in the United States, when there is a reduction in competition, yes, that is a part of the US government's role to oversee these transactions and okay them or deny them. So there is a complication on the legal front. In terms of preserving jobs, that actually sometimes happens through a merger. If your business is struggling and it's going to continue on through the merger, you are saving some jobs. However, there are some cons to that, and we'll get to those in a second. So what are some of the cons of a merger? Well, frequently there are gaps in communication, and corporate culture kind of clashes, right? If you sit and think about it, you're mashing two companies together, you're forming one. But even, if you're physicists or scientists, they can tell you when you smash two objects together to form one, even like planets, it can be a messy, chaotic situation. So there is that. And while there's sometimes economies of scale or reduction in inefficiencies because you're combining two companies, and I did say that you do preserve some jobs, there is also some job losses, right? You don't have two executives, you don't have two boards, you don't have two marketing departments. So frequently on certain areas and sectors of the newly formed merged businesses, redundancies are cut off, which does mean loss of jobs. So why are mergers a little less common than acquisitions? If you sit and really think about it, mergers can be very messy. If you're sitting and thinking about two companies coming together and forming one, you have to go through a lot of planning and communication. And to be honest, as I just said with some of the cons, things don't always work out the way you intend or plan. I think a lot of business schools like to highlight the ExxonMobil merger as one of the more successful ones. And you can see even there, it's a huge, massive undertaking to take such large oil companies and combining one. I think mergers tend to be rare because there needs to be kind of a confluence of events for them to kind of work out. I know journalists like to report on mergers and say and use that word, but I think a lot of times if you look at a deal, it's usually an acquisition. So I hope that gives you a little bit of insight on mergers. I do think there is a joke amongst finance, business school, and business law that there's really no such thing as a merger because of that rarity that I was just talking about. There's only acquisition. If you're a Star Trek fan, you can take that quote. But I do think that it's a lot easier conceptually just to do an acquisition. And so next post will be all about pros and cons, just like this, of acquisitions. And we'll talk about that then. If you have questions about mergers and acquisitions on a small business or medium-sized business, because as my last post said, yeah, smaller businesses do this, but they just don't call it M&A. Ask me or send me a DM. But other than that, thanks for checking back and stay tuned for more information on business law. Bye.